Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be sharing another DIY video with you today, and if you haven't already guessed, it's for how to make these beautiful crepe paper flowers. And I'm actually going to be attaching a video that I filmed 2 years ago, so you'll notice that I look a little bit different, my hair is longer, and the surroundings are a little bit different because it was actually filmed in our old house. And if you listen closely to the audio of the video, you'll hear that it is thundering and storming, so I apologize for that in advance. But what I realized was I actually filmed that about a week before our house flooded during Hurricane Harvey, which is so crazy to look back on. But that also explains why I never got around to posting this video, because my priorities were a little bit different at the time. But I asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted me to upload the video, and it was a resounding yes. So let's get right to it. So to get started, you are going to need a glue gun, some paper plates, some Italian crepe paper, scissors, and pipe cleaners. So just to give you a little sneak peek, I actually made these out of PVC pipe that I covered in craft paper and then tissue paper, and then attached the flower to a paper plate using a pipe cleaner. And then I attached that to an elbow joint. So to start off, I'm going to show you guys how I made the base. I actually got 1-inch PVC pipe from the local hardware store. It was really cheap, which is another reason why I wanted to use PVC pipe. And then I filled a cup with some concrete, and as it was drying, I stuck the PVC pipe in so that it would set in the concrete and I wouldn't have to worry about how to make it sturdy. One of the most popular tutorials that I've actually seen on YouTube is using the chicken wire, and I'm sure that that's great and you can bend it really easily, but for me it just seemed like a lot of work. I didn't want to have to deal with prickly chicken wire poking my fingers, so I thought I would try this out, and so far it's worked really, really well. So the cool thing about PVC pipe is that you can actually bend it as well. If you take a heat gun or a hair dryer and you hold it to whatever spot you want, it is bendable. The first step is going to be to cover this in craft paper. And this does not have to be neat at all. You just literally wrap it up and kind of scrunch it together. That's going to give it really nice texture. And then I took just plain old masking tape and wrapped it around the craft paper to cover it. And as for the craft paper, I just bought a big roll at Hobby Lobby, and I cut it to length and wrap it around, scrunch it, put the masking tape around it, and then I'm done. So I laid down my green tissue paper, and then I'm just going to lay my stand on top of it. And then you're actually going to take spray adhesive and spray the entire thing and then just kind of smush it on. And this stuff is really sticky, so that if you don't have like a craft table in your house, I would maybe recommend doing this part outside. But as you can see, it just kind of sticks to itself, which is amazing. And then I just kind of roll and scrunch. And I actually think that this is a really natural looking texture, which is what we're going for. And then you wind up with something that looks like this. I'm really sorry if you guys can hear the thunder outside. This weather is crazy. But on some of the tutorials that I had seen, I didn't like the way that the PVC pipe looked because it was just straight and very thin. But I think that when you add the craft paper and you kind of scrunch it up a little bit, and then this I also did really just kind of scrunch it on there, that just makes it look a little bit more natural, which is what, you know, we're going for. So for our next part, I'm going to teach you how to make the flower. And I will be linking a tutorial below. That's what I actually got this idea from, because I sure as heck didn't come up with this by myself. But these flowers look super realistic, in my opinion. They've got a lot of great texture, which again, I'm using these for a photo shoot, so that's something that's important. We don't want the flowers to look really flat in the background. So once you have all of your supplies, you're gonna start out by taking the plate. These are actually Dixie paper plates, which are nice because they're a little bit deeper than regular paper plates, which allows more room for the flower petal to be pushed in, and they're really, really heavy duty. So I just poked 2 holes in the middle. I'm gonna take my pipe cleaner and I'm just going to feed it through. This way, the flower's gonna get glued on top of here, which is going to make the pipe cleaner really sturdy. And then I'm actually gonna use this back part to attach it to the base. So you have your 2 different colors of Italian crepe paper. Now, why the Italian crepe paper is important is because it's actually really, really stretchy. Like, you can pull it and stretch it. It's thicker than regular tissue paper or crepe paper, so you don't have to worry about tearing it. It's definitely not as delicate. You're going to unroll this about a hand's width apart, and you're going to cut pieces. For the big flowers, you need 10 big petals and about 7 smaller petals. And then the gold is actually what I use to make the little texture part in the middle. And you really only need 1 small piece of this. So I actually only bought 1 roll of the gold because I knew I wouldn't need as much. So once you're finished cutting your 10 larger ones, and I don't use a template or anything, I just cut it in the shape of a petal. And then I made 7 that were slightly smaller. I mean, really only a tiny bit smaller. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your petal and you're going to fold it like this. You kind of scrunch the bottom, fan it, and you're gonna hot glue this bottom part. Once you have that done, you're going to take the top part and you're actually going to run your fingers along it. And you're gonna stretch it out. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna show you each individual one of these because that would be boring. So once this is taped and this is pulled out, you will hot glue it to the outside of the plate, and you'll go all the way around, and then you'll attach the smaller ones a little bit below. And once you're done with that, you'll have something that looks like this. So it's really super simple, you guys, and I will be linking the tutorial below where there's an in-depth tutorial on how to do these flowers. But I just thought I would share some of my tips with you. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about how exactly I did a certain part of the video, feel free to ask in the comments and I will definitely get back to all of you. I will also be providing links for the crepe paper that I used. Everything else I got locally at either a hardware store or the dollar store, like I said. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!